Well, and I was saying you that this woman was from Santa Fe, and I told her about Victoria, my sister-in-law, that she joins the workshop, and she lives in Santa Fe. And when I mentioned her, she said, "Oh, I work with Victoria here at the university," because she's a professor at the university, and Victoria too, and they know each other. So this is another proof that everything is connected, my friends. Well, do you remember that a couple of classes ago, Pablo and Ashi were not present, but I was with Nati, and we saw another text from Eckhart Tolle that is very related to this, and the title was How to Transform Suffering into Peace. And Nati, do you remember what was like the key word to make this possible, to transform suffering into peace? What do we have to do?
To accept.
Accept. To accept whatever comes without judging. And he says, I like the way he explained this, because he says that we have two chances at acceptance. That sometimes what comes, it's too hard or too difficult, or is painful, or is shocking. Because he was talking with another one, you know that The Power of Now is a book of him, of Eckhart Tolle, that is presented as questions and answers. Questions of her audience, of the people who went to his talks or to his retreats. And well, and a question was, yes, you say that we have to accept everything that comes, but what happens if sometimes it is very difficult? Because what happens, for instance, if with the death of a son, for example? And he says, well, sometimes things are very shocking or difficult to accept. So we can't accept this, for instance. We cannot accept this. But what happens when we cannot accept something that is happening? An emotion is activated or triggered. An emotion like, or we feel pain, we feel anger, or we feel sadness. Well, if we cannot accept what happens outside, we can accept what happened inside us. So we have to accept these emotions that are not good, but are here. And so this is the second chance that we have. If we cannot accept outer things or outer what happens outside, we can accept what is happening inside us. Because sometimes what happens is that we don't even accept what is happening inside us. We don't, and we want to escape from our pain or from our sadness. And the way to transform, and that's why we create a lot of more suffering to us, and we are not aware that we are the ones that are creating. That's why he says here, we are going to see that he says that most of the pain is unnecessary because it is self-created by ourselves. And actually, you know that when I read this example of the question, that was what happened if someone that you love a lot dies, for example. I remember another very difficult situation that must have been very difficult to you, and they don't know about it. What happened to you when with your house, with the fire, when your house was burnt? This was a very, very difficult situation for you. And I remember that you sent a message to the group, to the Sangha group, and I perceived, I don't know, you will tell me, or you, if you want, what was your experience at that moment. But I could perceive that although it was a very, very shocking situation for you or difficult, you were at peace. I don't know. What happened to you?
Yes, I feel in the first time that it was an opportunity to leave everything, all the past. No, I feel very soft, not heavy, soft.
Yes, or light.
Light. Or light. Mm-hmm. I feel very, very light, and I think that it was like an opportunity for me to leave everything, everything, all my 46 years living here, everything, because I can't take anything from the house. I take only my how do you say, mochila?
Backpack.
Backpack, but with my documents and my things that I went every day to the town. And I am very grateful for that, because I think that I have a lot of opportunities that I never see. Now I am free. It's a little bit, how do you say, like, it's incertidumbre o abismal.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty and abismal, how do you say? Abismal. What?
Yes, huge, very huge
Yes,
answer.
because when you have one or two opportunities, when you have one or two opportunities, you know that you have to choose one or another. But I think that I have all the opportunities in my life, but I know that I want to stay here. The most difficulty thing that I'm living is that I have to to begin the new house, to construct
to build the new house.
To build a new house, and I feel inside of my heart that I have a lot of resistance. A part of myself don't want to do that, to lose my time, my present building, because I was building the last years, and I think that now I want to leave. I told to a friend of mine that now I want to leave. I want to go to the lake and to swim. I want to make things that I love to do, that I was how do you say, postergar?
Postponing.
I was postponing those things that I love to do, and so now I choose to swim in a warm pool. Um, and I am going to ceramic class.
Mm-hmm.
So after
Ceramic,
that,
in English, we say clay. Clay,
clay, clay,
yes.
clay class. So after those things, I am looking for the materials for, how do you say, materials
Same materials, yes.
that I need to begin my new house. But
Yes.
I'm doing it in a slow way. I don't want to run against the time, against the winter that is coming
Mm,
after the summer. So if I build it, okay. If I don't build it, okay also, because I have this house that I'm living now. I have a roof. I am warm, and now I don't need to build anything. So I'm recognizing that it's a opportunity to don't press myself to
mm-hmm.
do anything. So it's not a very easy way to live,
Mm-hmm.
because all the people here we have a great fire, and a lot of people lose their
Mm-hmm.
house, their
Their
uh,
homes, all and all their belongings,
yes, because we live
everything.
in a farm place with farms,
Mm-hmm.
rural place.
In a rural
So
place,
we
yes,
have mm, everything, no, the trees, the vegetables, everything was fire away. So I see that my friend are building their house, but I think that I don't choose that way. So I am giving myself the time to process this.
mm-hmm.
I'm not sad. I'm not sad for what happened. Really, I think that the what I said before, that the thing that is um, heavy for me is
Mm-hmm.
to begin a new building.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm giving that time for me. I
Yes,
have to build myself. Because I want to know what I want. I have
yeah,
65 years old, and I have a new opportunity in the life. I don't
yes,
know what I
in
want.
life. Yes,
Yes, yes.
it
Thank
was
you.
because this is a perfect example that we sometimes we are not aware of this, but we have options, and sometimes the only option until you said your house was burned and you have um, the option of accept this and or to resist this. And if you accept, um, you can be more well, she's but you can be more friendly to the process, and you can go through it in a more loving way to yourself. If you accept everything is different. Okay, my friends. So, well, as she has quit, I think for sure is a problem with her connection. But well, we can, if you want, we can read at first the post here of Eckhart Tolle, and then we begin with the text. And I liked it. I found it yesterday when I was preparing the class for today.
Sorry, here I
yes,
am.
you are back. Very good.
Yes.
Well, we are just about to start reading the post of Eckhart Tolle.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
let's start. Nati, do you want to read it?
Yes. Whenever you notice that some form of negativity has arisen within you, look on it not as a failure, but as a helpful signal that it's telling you, wake up, get out of your mind, be present.
Yeah, I think that is a very useful reminder.
Yes.
Because a clear example of for us to detect when we are you know that the other day I was when we were talking, Nati, on Wednesday I said that there is a thing that is very important, and that is to observe how or what is our inner state, how are we feeling, and this is important to when we detect if we begin to look or to observe how are we feeling, we can instantly detect when we are being negative or when we are having when negativity has captured us, when we are in a negative state. So it's a clear proof or example that we are thinking too much, that we are engaging with some thought and we are not present. Okay, so he gives us a very quick advice and very powerful advice. He said, well, wake up. It's a signal that you, a signal to say, well, you have to wake up, get out of your mind, be present, be here. Okay, well.
May I say something about that? That I think that when you are very emotionally, that is also a signal, no? Any kind of emotionally.
Yes, yes. The other day we were talking that always an emotion is a reaction or is triggered. That's when was when the word triggered arose in our conversation, because a trigger, to trigger an emotion, es activar una emoción. Entonces, in most of the cases, the emotion is triggered by a thought, because a thought appears and we believe that thought, a thought that is saying something that is not good for us, and we engage with this thought, and that's why we become emotional, as you say, that we are so attached to something that a thought that we have believed in. Okay, so let's start with the and it says here, wherever you notice that some form of negativity has arisen within you, look on it not as a failure. What is the opposite of a failure?
Successful.
Success. Very good. Success. Okay. Okay, success. Well, so let's start with this text that goes, create no more pain in the present. Okay, and let's see the question. Pablito, do you want to start
Okay.
with the question? Yes.
The power of now. Create no more pain in the present. Nobody's life is entirely free of pain and sorrow. Isn't it? It's a question of learning to live with them rather than trying to avoid them.
Okay, let's stop here. Nobody's life is entirely free of pain and sorrow. We know that when we begin to read, the difficulty most of the time is with the E and the I. Here, the E, this E is pronounced entirely. Nobody's life, and the thing with life and live. Remember, when it is a noun, it's life. Cuando es un sustantivo, vida, es life. And when we are talking about the verb to live, es live. So, nobody's life is entirely free of pain and sorrow. Isn't it a question of learning to live with them rather than trying to avoid them? ¿Qué está preguntando él acá? Que es, ¿cómo es? Es una cuestión de aprender a vivir con el dolor más que evitarlo. Rather than trying to avoid them. And well, let's see what is his reply to this question. Go on, Pavita.
The greater part of human pain is unnecessary. It is self-created as long as the unserved mind runs your life.
Okay. The greater part of human pain is unnecessary. It is self-created. So what does it mean? That we are the ones that we create our own pain. As long as the unobserved mind runs your life. Here we have the expression as long as, and this expression as long as in English has two meanings. We can talk here. In this sentence, it is used as with the second meaning. So is that to express duration. It's a synonym of while, for example. Because, for instance, you can say, you can use my car as long as you need it. Es como un sinónimo de mientras, o tanto tiempo como lo necesites, as long as. But this expression, as long as, can also be used to express condition, to express as a synonym of if. For example, I'll help you as long as you tell me the truth. This is another meaning. O sea, por ejemplo, te voy a ayudar, pero decime la verdad. Sí me decís la verdad. Entonces, it's as long as can be used in these both ways. Okay, and here...
The lawyer used this phrases
yes.
to the client.
Yes. Yes, it's a usual expression, but because you have this sixth sense that when a client comes to you, that you can perceive.
And then they use another phrase that say, tell the lawyer the truth, and then the lawyer make a confusion. The second part.
Okay. Well, so And here it says, it is talking about pain. It is self-created as long as the unobserved mind runs your life. That's why we say we have to observe what thoughts we have, the thoughts that comes to our mind, because if they go on unobserved, what happens? We believe these thoughts, and we take them as real, and they are not. They are an illusion, like Mooji Baba said. So these unobserved thoughts are the ones who create a lot of pain within us. Okay, so let's go on. Ashi, a bit more. A bit more you, because.
Okay, the pain that you create now is always some form of non-acceptance, some form of unconscious resistance to what is.
Okay. It has to do with what we are talking about. Pain comes from non-acceptance and unconscious resistance sometimes, because sometimes we are resisting and we are not conscious that we are not aware that we are resisting something. Okay, go on.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. On the level of thought, the resistance is some form of judgment. On the emotional level, it is some form of negativity.
Yes. So, because why he says this? Because on the level of thought, the resistance is some form of judgment. It comes from, because a thought comes and we immediately begin to judge. We judge what is coming as good or bad, and that is that we label these things, and we label them as bad, and because of this we feel pain. Okay, and on the emotional level, what happens? If we believe this thought, we begin to feel something that is not good, that is negative. As a result of the judgment, the emotion arises emotion. Okay, so let's go on. Ashi, do you want to go on?
Okay. The intensity of the pain depends on the degree of resistance to the present moment, and this in turn depends on how strongly you are identified with your mind.
Identify is how long you are identified with your mind.
Identify.
Okay. Go on.
The mind always seeks to deny the now and to escape from it.
Okay. What is to deny? Deny is the opposite of what?
Accept.
Is to, yes.
To accept. Deny is the opposite to negar. Deny is the opposite to accept. Acá is not like this. It's the opposite. Okay. So, come back. The mind always seeks to deny the now and to escape from it. So, in other words, go on, Ashi.
In other words, the more you are identified with your mind, the more you suffer. I continue?
Yes.
Or you may put it like this. The more you are able to honor and accept it and accept the now, the more you are free of pain, of suffering, and free of the egoic egoic mind.
Very good. She's giving us a very simple advice that for us is difficult, but it's just to accept things as they are. And even if we can see the purpose or the reason why something is happening, because this, when you begin to observe, when something bad happens to you, but that you label this as bad, this question arises. Why? Why is this happening to me? And you resist. And well, you have to, it is connected to what you have said, actually, that previously, that sometimes we have just to accept what is, and don't question. Don't question. The question is the same as in Spanish when we say no cuestionar. Don't label it. Just it is. Okay.
I said something.
Yes.
But because when I refer to these things or teams, I talk about the creencias limitantes. How do you say it?
Limiting beliefs.
Limited
beliefs.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I think
we have these thoughts sometimes are beliefs, limiting beliefs. Okay. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
So let's go on and see. Here arises the question why. So, Ashley, go on if you want.
Why does the mind habitually deny or resist the now? Because it cannot function and remain in control without time, which is past and future. So it perceives the timeless now and threatening.
What is something threatening?
What is that?
Amenazante. So,
okay.
Yes, he perceives because the now has no time.
Yes.
So that's why, and the mind can only survive in future and in past. So that's why for the mind is always, the now is threatening, and the mind is always trying to take us from the present to the past or to the future. La mente siempre está tratando de sacarnos de. That's why when there is yes, we have. There is you hear a noise?
No.
No? I hear a kind of noise, but I don't know.
Yes, I hear the noise.
Yes. I don't know where it comes from. A ver.
Me parece que de la conexión de allí.
¿Acá? Bueno.
No,
es el ruido, es el ruido de internet.
Okay. Well.
Proba a silenciar tu micrófono allí.
Okay.
Okay.
Es eso.
Yes.
No es ella, sino es la conexión que tiene mucho fritura, le dice. Mucho ruido.
It's a technical issue. A technical issue. Okay. So.
Very distant.
Here it says, time and mind are in fact inseparable. So that's why I was thinking what happens when we sit when we decide to sit with ourselves and contemplate or meditate, that instantly the mind comes and to tell us something about the future or about the past. It's trying to take us away from the present. And it is because of this, because time and mind are inseparable. Mind cannot survive without time. And we have to be aware of it. Okay, let's go on. Nati, do you want to go on?
Imagine the earth devoid.
Without. It means without human life.
Devoid of human life. Me tocaron todas. Inhabited only by plants and animals. Would it still have a past and a future? Could we still speak of time in any meaningful way? The question.
Okay, this is very useful to understand the relationship with mind and time. You know that we like being in nature or surrounded by nature because we feel that when we are in nature, we are at peace. And some time ago, I remember that I was watching a video of Eckhart Tolle, and he says this: we love nature because nature has no mind. Yes, we can be, when we are in nature, what happens? We can be present, we can be there. And it is because of this. That's why he is giving this example. If there were only plants and animals in the earth, there won't be any past or future. For animals and for plants, there are no past or future. They are just present. Okay. The question, go on, Nati.
The question, what time is it or what's the day today, if anybody were there to ask it, would be quite meaningless. The oak tree or the eagle would be bemused by such a question. What time? They would ask, well, of course, it's now. The time is now. What else is there?
Bemused is a synonym of surprise. The oak tree or the eagle would be surprised at this question. What time? Okay, let's go on.
Yes, we need the mind as well as time to function in this world. But there comes a point where they take over our lives. And this is where dysfunction, pain, and sorrow set in.
Yes, we need time for some things, but the fact is that they have overcome, take over our lives. And what is to take over? They have control. They have come to control our lives. And this is not the function of time in our lives. We have to regain the power of ourselves. And that's why we are being controlled with our mind. And why? Because of what he says at the beginning, that we are not aware of our unobserved thoughts. Okay, let's go on.
The mind, to ensure that it remains in control, seeks continuously to cover up the present moment with past and future. And so, as the vitality and infinite creative potential of being, which is inseparable from the now, becomes covered up by time. Your true nature becomes obscured by the mind.
Okay. You know that we say that all the masters talks about the same. And Mooji Baba, what he says about this, that he talks about the real self and the personal self, or our personal identity. And he says the same, that our personal identity that is so identified with time is like a mask that covers the real self. And what is this real self? It is what we discovered when we are contemplating or meditating, that we come to experience or to realize this peace that is timeless, that has no time, and it is very beautiful. So beautiful that we can't describe it with words. But we can be aware of why this happens. And why this happens? Because we are not thinking. When we can experience this, there is no time there. But it is because we are not engaged with any thought of future or a past. We are just in the now, as he says. It's the same as saying we are abiding in ourselves. Or I love the expression of Mooji when he says to rest in your own being, he says. And I love this expression, to rest, because we feel at peace. We have that, and he says, you don't have to do anything, just be.
Be.
So to be in the present is this, just be. And what is to just be? No link to past and to future, only here. ¿Se dieron cuenta de eso? Es eso. It's just to be here. Pero, ¿por qué sentimos esa paz? Porque no hay tiempo ahí. No estamos ni pensando en lo que vamos a hacer después, ni en lo que hicimos antes. Estamos acá. Okay, so let's go on a bit more. So the vitality and infinite creative potential of being, and you know that when he used being with a capital letter,
Yes.
and that's why being and self. Mooji uses self, but they are the same word. They are referring to the same thing. Okay.
Yes.
So, and increasingly here is
an increasingly heavy burden of time has been accumulating in the human mind. All individuals are suffering under this burden, but they also keep adding to it every moment whenever they ignore or deny that precious moment or reduce it to a means of getting to some future moment which only exists in the mind, never in actuality.
Okay. Actuality is a synonym of reality. Okay. So all individuals are suffering under this burden. It is the opposite to what you said. Actually, when you were describing, remember when you were describing how do you feel or what do you want to do? That is just going to the lake and have a bath, and you say, I feel light. Well, to feel light is just the opposite of to suffer under this burden. A burden es un peso, una carga. Entonces, this connection or this link to the mind and to time is a burden to us. It's a burden. Es una carga para nosotros estar todo el tiempo conectados con el pasado o el futuro. Like you were saying, I don't want to think of that I have to build my house. I just want to go to the lake and be. What is to go to the lake? To be present, to enjoy the present moment, without any burden of time. Okay. And he says that we create this burden when we think about future or about past. And so this burden is created by mind. Okay. So go on.
The accumulation of time in the collective and individual human mind also holds a vast amount of residual pain from the past.
Okay, well, we are going to finish here today with this text, but the last sentence also make us realize that this is not something, that's why we feel it as a great burden, because it is not something individual only, it's something collective also. That this human mind is also a great burden. I think, for instance, in people that have suffered a lot in the past because of war or something very difficult, and this is like of pass through other generations, or the people from nations or from places that has suffered a lot, and this is kind of transmitted from generation to generation, and it becomes a collective pain. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
For instance, in like the Jewish people, with the people who suffered the Holocaust, for example, it is like ese dolor de otras generaciones como que se va transmitiendo y se vuelve como algo colectivo, y it's a great burden. Se vuelve como una carga. Por eso él habla no solo de nuestra mente individual, sino of the collective pain that has been accumulated. Okay.
May I say? Okay.
Yes.
Habla.
When I was in Hungary, the tour guide explained that people are so close, cerrado, ¿cómo sería cerrado?
Sí, close.
Okay. Because they suffered the Soviet regime for more than 40 years. And then he said, imagine the Russian need spy. So 50% of the population was spy. Or maybe in your family, you're 4, and 2 of our family are spy of the government. So they used to close and don't speak and stay in silence. So this behavior continue now, and you can say the difference with the young people, but the old people is like this is not easy to speak, to communicate, so friendly. So you have to understand that meaning, and this is the like you are explaining with the burden, no?
Yes, yes, this is. And it's very useful to become aware of these things, because in this way we can understand. And we are so easy to judge sometimes, and there is something much deeper that accounts for this kind of behavior. And Ashley, what do you want to say?
Thank you. I want to say that I feel something that is it's not the, how do you say, inconsciente colectivo?
Collective unconsciousness.
Yes, collective unconsciousness. One thing is what you said, that about the inconsciente collective, but I feel something that is a memory of the in the body.
Yes, also.
Because I'm because is, for example, now I'm here, I am alone, and then the cat throw something to the floor, and it make a loud noise, and then I get a very strong susto.
Yes, you are scared.
Yes, because I think that the fire was 9 months ago, and I already I continue feeling that I think that it's like my body is intention, tension, because
yes,
every noise, a loud noise, I feel scared. How do you say?
Scared or terrified? Yes.
Terrified, no.
But
no,
scared.
I feel like a susto, something
Yes.
that, oh my God, it's like
Scared.
something is happening. My body react, but not my mind. I was not thinking about anything, but my body is in tension, I think.
Yes.
Because that's why I want to make things that I enjoy the present, because I want to change that, to change tension in my body.
Yes, and this only can be transformed if you accept these emotions when they arise, so they can go out and be overcome. Because if you don't, you are very right. You are right when you say that these are kind of memories that are trapped in your body. They're kind of trapped. They are caught in your body. Como que son memorias que quedaron ahí atrapadas en tu cuerpo. Están ahí y tienen que. They have to go out because they are not what you are.
Yes, yes.
And
it's very like now happened something synchronic, because my cat was over here. I have a chair and a table, and I have my things like my batch flowers and everything with a crystal bottle, and she throw everything away, and it broke the the bottles of my flowers, and it happened now.
Just now that we are talking about
in the now.
In the now, that's it. Okay, my friends. It has been a
Thank
very
you.
useful and powerful talk this day about these things.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Well, now to finish with this beautiful meeting, we are going to, I'm going to show you briefly the transcription of this contemplation of Mooji that is called True Happiness. And then we are going to listen to it. It lasts about 3 minutes, and it says, it's what is the meaning of what is, or how can we experience true happiness? Okay, Pablito, do you want to read the transcription?
Okay. True happiness. Sangha, you may notice that when you have apparently solved a personal problem, you feel so happy, so light. But soon another situation comes, or the old things sometimes come back to trouble you again. So, this is not the true peace. The true peace is a beingness or one. They don't come and go, like the momentary relief and sense of choice that you experience in a state of personhood.
Okay, let's stop a bit.
Okay.
Here, what is he saying? He's comparing the happiness we feel when something external to us happens and we label it as good, and the true happiness. That when, in fact, when we can experience all that we can experience with external things, that, for instance, we meet a beloved friend or something, and we feel happy because we meet. All these things comes and go, but what happens? The real peace is not this. It comes by abiding in and as the self. It is inside us. This is the true peace. And real peace, Pablito, go on. Real peace.
Real peace comes from abiding and in and as the self. This is not a mental achievement. It's not a personal achievement. It simply means that you come to see that the person and its world, which is always trying to fix and improve, this is not stable. But as you reconfine yourself experientially in the formless being, which is beyond personality and then situation and circumstances created through the mind, each time you confirm yourself in the being. There is no going back or going away from beingness. It does not move. It does not move forward or backward.
Okay, let's stop a bit here. That it is this is to be in the now and without time. This is what we feel when we are not thinking. That's why he says there is no going back or going away from the being. It does not move forward or backward. We are, and that's it. So let's go on. So any change?
So any change or shift in your experience is because you will go back to the mind. So keep honoring your place of being over and over again. Not mechanically, not just monotonously, but with feeling and clarity. And so naturally you come to stabilize in the heart. Then you will know we don't need convincing by myself or anyone else. You'll be our proof. You'll be the proof of our own truth. It's not a personal truth. is universal truth, for consciousness of one, God is one, the true self is one. Personal self are many and changeful. So you decide, you choose where to put your attention. They will be your result. God bless you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. He says that this true happiness is something that we can experience by ourselves. And it is not when we experience, we'll come to know that we have not, it is not necessary to be convinced of this by someone else. When we experience, we just feel that it is. Well, let's try to do it just for a couple of minutes to follow his advice, which is just to focus our attention in our heart or in our breathing or something, and not engaging with thoughts, just for a moment, and see what happens. Okay, I will put the contemplation here. Esperen que primero la tengo que...
I'm calling those Sangha members who are really working very closely and dedicatedly with the point.
Esperen que se activó otra. Yeah.
Sangha. You may notice when you have apparently solved a personal problem, you feel so happy, so light. But soon another situation comes, or the old thing comes back sometimes to trouble you again. So this is not the true peace. The true peace and beingness are one. They don't come and go. Like the momentary relief and sense of joy that you experience in the state of personhood. Real peace comes by abiding in and as the self. This is not a mental achievement. It is not a personal achievement. It simply means that you come to see that the person and its world, which it is always trying to fix and to improve, these are not stable. But as you reconfirm yourself experientially in the formless being, which is beyond personality and the situations and circumstances created through the mind, each time you confirm yourself in the being, there's no going back or going away from. Beingness does not move. It doesn't go forward or backward. So if any change or shift in your experiencing is there, it's because you go back to the mind. So keep honoring your place of being over and over again. Not mechanically, not just monotonously, but with feeling and clarity. And so naturally you come to stabilize in the heart. Then you will know. You will not need convincing by myself or anyone else. You will be your own proof. You will be the proof of your own truth. It's not a personal truth. It's universal truth. For consciousness is one. God is one. The true self is one. Personal selves are many and ever changeful. So you decide, you choose where to put your attention. But there will be your result. I bless you. Om.
Well, my friends, just try to remember that we can choose where to put our attention, as he says. We have the power, not our mind. And it is real, as he says, because it just in a couple of minutes, if we focus our attention just in our heart, we can be at peace. And it's very, very, I am thinking in this kind of service we do, Pablito, when we help other people to discover this, it is a very simple practice, and it's all we need to live a better life, to discover that we are this, we are peace, and to stop chasing it outside, just to take a few minutes makes a great difference. So, but we have to start with ourselves, and then we can impregnate the world with our peace wherever we go. So, well, I wish you this, to become aware of this. And this is to change the world. But we have to connect first with this in ourselves. And these spaces, this is also a choice, that we choose to be together, to talk about this, to be aware of it, to realize. In a Saturday morning. So, well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you too, Arnold.
Well, enjoy, my friends. Enjoy the present. Be present. This is a great gift we have, to have our masters to make us, that they remind us of this. Porque lo que nos cuesta por ahí es recordar esto, porque lo sabemos, está en nosotros, pero bueno. Don't be carried by your mind. Just be in your heart and present. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have
Goodbye.
a very beautiful weekend. And life, always. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.